How's it going, everybody?
What's up, man?
Yo,
Morning.
Man. So we're back on
evening.
Comics Unbound. We've got some cool ass folks hanging out with us tonight. I did miss you guys last weekend because I had so much going on. I was at a show, shenanigans, craziness. Man, and if you were around for that after party, bad shit, crazy. So anyway, we've got George with us, good buddy of mine, does all kinds of killer shit, incredible writer, and then we've got Mr. Nick Cleary. Nick the Quit Cleary. Very, very cool. Glad to have him on board. We haven't had him here before, so we're really excited about that. You guys all know my co-host with the most from Down Under, Mr. Lee Chalker. Talking all kinds of shenanigans tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about If It Hops, which has been wildly popular. You know, really excited about it, how well it's done. We're going to talk a little bit about Greed because that's coming up in the next couple weeks. And then we're going to talk about Underland. And I may get shot for talking about Underland because that's all on that hush-hush list of things that we don't talk about. What's going on, John? How's it going, brother? All right. So, Nick, since you're the new guest, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, dude? What you got going on?
hey, I'm Nick. I'm from South Australia. I met Lee through the Comex network. I currently have 2 books out. They're both called Detective Budgie. It's about an anthropomorphic bird detective. And the hook about Detective Budgie is that he's got wings. Everyone else in this bird city has arms and legs. They're all walking, talking birds. Detective Budgie's got a pair of wings, so he's treated like a bit of a freak, a bit of a superhero. And that's teamed with a bird brain that makes him, his social cues aren't great, but he's an excellent detective.
You guys have a lot more in common than I realized. So we'll go ahead and let you guys continue that. So, yeah, that sounds really, really cool. How long have you been putting out comic books?
I've only got 2. I'm working on a 3rd and a 4th. I'm quite new to the scene. I'd say I've been doing this for like 2 years, 2 and a bit, maybe. Yeah.
Right on, right on. All right, so then we're going to get over to George. Mr. Get Your Meds.
What's up? What's up?
The Quack Attack coming out with the Wonder Duck. We're really excited about it. I love that concept, man. Wonder Duck is so much fun.
Yes, it is. I mean, I had a blast writing it. Hello, everyone. For those who don't know, I'm George Medina. I'm the creator of The Adventures of Wonder Duck, a book that is currently on Kickstarter. We are about, I think, 12 days away from ending the campaign. It ends on June 1st. So you still have time to pledge to it. If you guys, so well want to do that, you can. We are getting near our next stretch goal, which is $4,000, where I will be unlocking this dope piece by an artist named Hector Rodriguez. He did the artwork on it, and then the coloring was done by a gentleman named Sean Lee. It's a beautiful piece where Wonder Duck is getting his beak kicked. But yeah, no. So I have that going on. I've also done stuff, for myself. It's called Rust 5377 is the other project that I have, which is also available on my website. And then I'm working with Dustin here on some stuff that's further down. But yeah, no.
Ooh, these neon streets. They are pretty streets, my friend. They are pretty streets that we're walking on.
Yes.
So we're really excited because Wonder Duck is doing very, very well. This is the first issue. Well, second issue now, right? Second issue.
It's the 5th. It's the 5th issue.
5th?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So
Still powering along,
I had
George.
no idea it was 5 already. What?
yeah, so this here. It's a graphic novel. It's a trade. It encompasses the first 4 issues of the book are in here. And then, so what I did was this campaign is to basically launch the second part of that graphic novel. So it's the next 4 issues, so 5 through 8. But this campaign is for issue number 5. So issue number 5 is what I'm doing. I'm working on here. The book is done, and so that's what it is. So yeah, so I have this is the 5th issue, man. Yeah,
that's so exciting because I always looked at it. It was 2 because you had the one book that I saw. And then this. So I was like, oh, that's 2 books. That's incredible. That's so exciting. That's so exciting. 5 books. Holy cow. We just did issue 2 of BGD. We've got issue 3 of Greed coming up. What's going on, Shawnee? We've got issue 3 of Greed coming up. But we're going to talk, like I said, we're going to talk about If It Hops for a little bit. We're smashing personal goals. We're smashing financial goals with this book. Just so you guys know, if you're new to the show, And if you've never picked up anything by Ethereal, all our books are done before they go to Kickstarter.
Yeah.
So when you guys go check them out, they're already finished, back with confidence. You'll get your books 6 to 8 weeks, generally speaking, from the time the end of the campaign ends, for them to get us our money, for us to get them printed, and them right to your doorstep. So we enjoy that, and we take pride in our ability to get you guys quality content in a really short amount of time. So right now we're sitting at $16,657.
Yikes!
Yeah, so excited.
That's amazing, dude.
Yeah, we're very grateful, man. We're very grateful, and for this to be an issue 1 and doing that, we're really about it. You know what I mean? Thank you, Shawnee. I'm trying. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get it down to a science for sure. We're on 2, 3, 4, 5. We've done 8 books in a year.
That's great, dude.
So a little over a year, about a year and a half, 8 books. So all of them have been run through Kickstarter. All of them, succeeded and done really well. We're just now getting. How's it going, Eastland? We're just now getting into the. Thanks, Johnny. We're just now getting into the anthropomorphic scene with BGD. That was a lot of fun for us. The fans really enjoyed it. BGD is super, super gory. We actually hashtagged the Naked Dinosaur John Wick hashtag for the last issue, which was super fun. If you guys didn't see that issue, all the fans made it possible to add 6 additional full color. We did 8. It was 8 additional full color pages for that book. It wasn't 6.
Nice.
So if you pick that up, you got the Stitches storyline started in the back of the book, which was really, really cool. And now we're on If It Hops. And If It Hops follows Agent C. She's a new agent in Eden, and she's chasing a serial killer. It's a lot of fun. Super, super dark, my type of book. But instead of being it's very opposite of BGD, whereas BGD was very, I'll show you a picture. So BGD is very dark with bright colors to accentuate the things we do, versus If It Hops. If It Hops is very bright in general, and we use dark imagery to show you, encompass the events going on versus using the bright colors. Being as it's me, Bladen Hunter, and David Acampo that work on both these titles together as a trio, we wanted to make sure we were giving you guys a different style when we came into If It Hops versus what you were getting in Babes Born Dinosaurs. Speaking of cool stuff that's coming out for If It Hops, we did unlock the 6 additional pages for that book. So here's some of the inks for the first additional page you guys are getting. Beautiful stuff. Awesome. Bladen is an absolute monster. And here's everybody's favorite panel that we've shown off so far from that. Really, really cool. Car though, I'm about that life.
I know. I didn't see it this finished, bro. This is amazing, man. It looks really, really nice.
Yeah. We'll be to colors in a week, and we'll be right on time like we normally are, even with the additional pages. So I'm really, really excited about that. Thanks, Johnny. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so very much. Shawnee, we got to give you guys more content, right? We talked about that. One thing that Ethereal is pushing it, we're pushing our teams to do and ourselves, is to make sure that we give you guys things that you want for these stretch goals, right? Like I get stickers and I get fun stuff because we do those too. But when you hit, to me, when you start hitting 5 digits on a Kickstarter, the backers deserve something that's more substantial than just a sticker, or you know what I mean? So us adding pages is our way of showing you that we care. Because if you look at 6 pages to 8 pages, when it comes to us, that's $1,000 worth of additional work. You know what I mean? That's another $1,000 for us. And then you talk about printing. Now you're adding pages to printing. So we want you to know that we're investing back in you the way that you invest in us. And we really appreciate that so very much. Only got a couple more hours on If It Hops, but we've got the pillowcases are available still, guys. We've done so many pillowcases. We're really, really stoked that people are jonesing for the pillowcases. This will be the last time you guys can. You've got 3 weeks total, but about 3 more weeks, and inflation, right? So in 3 more weeks, we'll cut off the pillowcases that we make available now, because the season will be over, and then in July we'll be introducing the summer season quarter pillows, which are great, and they're all themed for the summer, beach stuff and bikinis and all that jazz, or lack thereof bikinis, because we're talking about my pillowcases. So lack thereof, generally speaking. But so anyway, now that we've given our pitch for Event Hops with a couple hours left, guys, don't forget that Greed, and we'll be on the show, go live with it, but Greed has all of its stuff coming up. Well, there's a summer pick for Event Hops. Greed is coming up, guys, and we're really, really excited about it. The teams are into it. Everybody's feeling it. The artwork is great. We've brought on Ed Garcia, and he's phenomenal. He's worked with Image. He's worked with all the big names for a really long time now, and we're thrilled about it. Yeah, give me 1 second. I'll put you a link up there so you guys can check it out. This is a lot harder to do than I normally do it because of everything I'm clicking. It's normally not. Hold on. Lee, I'll let you have this for a second. I'm trying to find this thing.
I'm just enjoying letting you have your.
You
haven't been around for a couple of weeks, mate. So you just had a lot of stuff to roll out of there and let the world know what's happening.
Sure. Yeah, lots going on. So
nice to see you again, buddy. Thanks for taking over the controls, because the last time I was looking after things, man, there were buttons and shit popping up everywhere, and I went no frills, mate. I just went. I'll just keep talking. So
there's the link for the Kickstarter. You guys can check that out. There's all kinds of stuff on there. Most recently, there's original art from Devin Massey. If you guys are Cableman fans, Devin Massey's got a book coming out with me called Theater 7. Super, super fun book. And it's the only other book he does interiors for, guys, other than Cableman. He's been doing Cableman for years. So to have this incredible, maestro of, the female form and dinosaurs and stuff to come to a book with us was just super, super cool. We also added recently, there's a Ryan Kincaid cover on there, guys. And if you're a fan of Ryan Kincaid, that's an absolutely stunning cover. Check that out. But now we're going to get into Nick's stuff. Tell us about this new book, this new project you've got going on. I know you're working on noses over there. Man, here's the let me grab you the link. There you go, Michael. I appreciate you wanting to check it out, man. But yeah, so what is the new story about? What have you got going on? Give us the who's who and Nick the Quick.
Yeah, right. I'm currently drawing a book. It's just an 8-pager. It might have a home in an anthology somewhere at some point. But I've been drawing this bird character for a while, and I thought I gotta draw some hands. I gotta draw some noses. I gotta draw some mouths and some teeth, because I've been neglecting that. When you're drawing a big 3D beak, it's kind of there's something simple about that. Yeah. But the intricacy of a mouth, nostrils, angles. So I've been working on Mr. Velocity.
I get that.
And it's kind of, I'm working on my 3D human forms. I'm working on.
Do you have a book right now coming out with this?
No, it's just focusing on my drawing.
Right on.
It's 8 pages. It's going to be hopefully an anthology.
Is there anywhere we can preview these 8 pages so that we can show that off to people so they can check it out?
You want me to show you? You want me to share my screen?
Yeah, share it with us. Show us, man. Let's see the bird, bro. Let's
you want to see the bird?
Show us the beak, brother. Let's get it.
Let me get my share screen happening. Oops, no, you don't want that. Here we go. So,
woot.
This is I'm currently just doing the flats for this page.
Sweet.
But this is page 3. I've done page 1. There we go. A lot more going on. Page 2.
I love that flourish.
Yeah. Right?
So basically, Mr. Velocity has this sort of power that he can shoot lasers out of his hands. We've seen that before, but then he can freeze them. He can make them still. So I'm kind of I'm always thinking about comics and, presenting stillness and movement, because there's some sort of correlation here. So basically,
I love that it's original, bro. That's original. I've not seen that shit anywhere.
I like to think so.
That's very, very cool. Kudos to you.
Thanks. And all the this evil dude. He wants the technology. He's sending his robots. Action ensues. Yeah. And yeah, like I said, I'm always thinking about stillness and movement in comics, and I have to concentrate on it a lot for this character, because he'll pull out spears and he'll make a cage around you. He can make a sword, all sorts of wacky stuff. So
that's a lot of fun, man. So
yeah,
what got you started in comics? What got you interested? Like, why did you want to get involved in comics?
I've always drawn, but it wasn't always. Well, I got into filmmaking after high school. Right. I went to film school. I've made some short films. I've made a couple of web series. I've got a YouTube channel that does okay. And so it took me a while to realize this, but storytelling is what I'm most passionate about. Right. So whether it's through actors and the camera or drawing, I just want to tell stories. And my friends know this about me too. So I'll just start telling stories about my life and events, and I'll dramatize them, I'll romanticize them. And so that's how my brain works. I'm always thinking about stories. So when I'm not making a film, I'm drawing a comic book now. That's the balance that is my life.
That's so cool, man.
That's
well,
awesome.
Congratulations. I actually, I have an engineering degree that I got from Universal Studios.
Oh, sure.
So I definitely enjoy filmmaking. I enjoy character creation, development.
Yeah.
I think that I have in comic books, we have this freedom to be able to show things in a light that we normally can't do. You know, it would cost us to bring actors in to do the scenes that we do in a comic book,
right.
You know, or even romanticize things in a different way than you can in a novel, you know. Right. So I enjoy it very much, like, especially when you're going, okay, if I want my artist to do this, and that each of our teams is different, right? So we have like 9 books right now that are in production, different series. And it's like, so like one series will be like, the artist will be like, hey, can you walk me through every page and every panel, versus another artist that's like, hey man, I really like that you let me do my thing. You know what I mean? But I enjoy personally being able to give life to these characters, to give to the teams, to be able to be like, hey, let's put this together. Let's do it together, and we'll come up with an amazing amalgamation of talent at the end of the day. And I think that everybody in this chat that I've seen so far has been able to do that. Every guest that we've brought on has brought amazing talent to their perspective books and their current books and their works they've done in the past. I count myself lucky to be amidst these incredible individuals that have been able to come out and be like, hey, look, I'm not scared to do this shit. I'm going to do it. I'm scared every goddamn day to do this job. You know what I mean? I really am. But it's phenomenal, the responses and the fan bases and the backers and these folks that come out and they're like, hey, Nick, that's really, really cool, man. I really like this. Same thing to George. I get people that ask me about George's stuff all the time, and I love it. I love hearing that. And it's
thank you.
Same thing with Lee. You know what I mean? That, hey, you know, do you know what Lee's got going on? Well, you can go to Lee's website and pick up Lee's stuff. It's really, really cool. Or you can go to see Dave Dye's stuff, you know, or, you know, you can go see Spedsy's stuff, or you can go see Bladen's stuff, or, you know, it's very powerful when people come in and they're like, look at how beautiful this is. And as a team, you've created this thing, you know, and you've given rise to it. I'm not saying everybody and their mother makes perfect books, but I am saying that everybody that we've worked with,
my mother makes perfect books, mate. What are you going on about? She's marvelous.
No, she didn't tell us about the drop bears, man. Get out of here. You know what I mean? Or the brown fish and all that shit.
You still haven't forgiven me for that, man.
No, you can keep that brown fish story to yourself. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, that's really, really cool, Nick. I'm excited to see what you do. Make sure you keep in touch with Lee with things going on with your stories, because we have a lot going on right now. So make sure that you keep in touch with him. I know that he brought you on the show for a reason. He respects your artwork and wanted me to see it and wanted us to get a little one-on-one time, and I'm very appreciative of that. So like I said, make sure you keep in touch with that guy, because he's running a cool thing called Ethereal Down Under. and it's going to be big by the end of the year. So make sure you're keeping in touch. So then we got Mr. George. Get
Yes,
your
sir.
legs, Medina. I love that motherfucker. Like, he's a good dude. Like, he's a legit good dude. Like, if you guys are into the indie scene, pay attention to this guy. Like, pay attention to this guy because he's got panache. His stories are great. I mean, there's a lot to be gleaned from paying attention to the way he carries himself, from the products he puts out to the way he treats people in the community. You know, great dude to work with, and we're blessed, thankful, and truly, you know, appreciative of his friendship. And I'm gonna let you have it now, George. Jump in there and tell us all about the Wonder Duck.
Damn, Dustin, I don't even know where to go from that. That was touching, bro, right here.
I've been gone for like 2 weeks. I
appreciate
put it
you
out there.
Thank you.
I was shattered after panache.
That's
I
panache.
mean, how do you follow up that?
Yeah, I'm like, wow, okay, that's yeah. I mean,
no, secretly, I'm really just dropping words so that people can get excited for the type of literary skill that I have that you can get in my books. So
you working it, brother? You are working it. Thank you so much, Dustin. I appreciate you, man. And listen, the feeling is mutual. I know you're working hard. You bust ass. You're doing your thing. It's contagious, man. And I'm happy that you had me on the show because honestly, like the campaign right now, I'm very excited about it. I'm amazed at how well it's done so far.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping to get some more stretch goals out there and get stuff going. But for those who don't know, The Adventures of Wonder Duck follows the story of Duke Dolbeek. He's an out-of-work actor who, he resides on the planet Faroth. This is the planet where he's from. Little does he know, though, that there is a power struggle in a neighboring planet, which is called Planet Führer, okay, where the planet's most prolific scientist, whose name is Dr. Muse, has committed treason. You see, he's created a battle suit that can destroy his own planet. And in his haste to get rid of it, he releases it into space. Okay, the suit then finds its way to planet Faroth, where it knocks our hero Duke in the noggin and transforms him into Wonder Duck. And that's basically how Wonder Duck comes to be. Now, I was telling you guys, I've done 4 issues of this story, and I'm currently working on the 5th one. The campaign, it ends on June 1st, but I just wanted to show you guys a little bit about what you can get on the campaign.
Please show us, dude. Please.
If you do pledge to the campaign, you can get the 5th issue of the book, and this is cover A. All right. You can get cover B, which is an homage cover to Amazing Spider-Man number 300 with Wonder Duck flying off the page there. This was done by a friend of mine, a buddy of mine named Joe Holly, and it was colored by a gentleman named Victor Claudio. They're 2 very talented artists. So that's available. And I decided to throw down and do some artwork on the page. So I put together this cover for it. This is the cover that I made. And I did the pencils on it. My friend Alex Rivera did the inks, and Victor Claudio colored it. So this is available on the campaign through different tiers. I also added a little card. It's a hollow foil card. I don't know if you guys can tell the gold trimming that's around the card there. It's 2-sided. It's really cool. So this is limited to 500, and they're serialized. So you're gonna get 1 of 500, 2 of 500, or whatever. Depending on how you pledge, this is how I will be numbering these bad.
And those are old school size too, right?
Yes.
Like we would collect as kids.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that, man. We've got character stat cards with If It Hops. So
nice.
I really, really like that. I think awesome. It's a lot of fun. We're starting to see a resurgence in card collecting in the United States.
That size, right? The size you're talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming back to it. I mean, your wrestling stuff's putting out cards again that people are collecting. Baseball, football, all that stuff is having a resurgence. Yeah. Whereas in the early 90s, it had disappeared almost. Like it was pretty well gone.
Yeah, it's pretty much gone.
Kudos on that, man. I'm really excited. Hollow foil cards too. Get out.
It's awesome, dude. And then the one tier that I'm really like just passionate about and stand behind is it's called the Wonder Kids tier. And basically what it is I linked up with an organization called Wonder Duck called Comic Book for Kids. They're based out of Chicago here in the States. And basically what they do is they send comics to kids in cancer centers and hospitals and things of that nature. So just for them to have comics and things to read, while they're going through the traumatic stuff that they're going through. And so I've decided to put together just a tier for that specific. It's called the Wonder Kids tier, and
Right.
basically what it does is you send 5 comics to the hospitals and to the cancer centers, and you get a comic book. You get a comic book yourself, and you get to choose between the 3 covers that I have. So you get to choose whichever cover you want. But I thought it was a great way to just give back and get more comics into kids' hands also, just because I think kids need to read more comics as well. So
George, that's the one thing I remember about you and Sam the last time you were both on, and how we were all discussing the fact that, it is important to get comic books and stories into kids' hands and that for the next generation. But man, that's a brilliant idea.
Thank
and
you.
I certainly hope people get on that and help out, because those little tackers, it's like they're going through a tough time, and there's nothing wrong with trying to put
Absolutely.
a smile on their face, mate. So
yeah.
I think well done, man. Well done. That's
I
brilliant.
appreciate it. Yeah, and the organization has been very supportive, and they're like, yeah, no, we'll do it. Right, as of us right now speaking, I have about 70 books going to them. So I'm trying to get up to like at least 100 books to the kids. You know what I mean? Just get them out there and just put a smile on the kid's face after
The healing power of laughter and smiling, mate.
Absolutely.
So it's like, that's a great thing.
Yeah, you can't beat that. You can't beat that shit with a stick.
Yeah, man.
That's he is a humanitarian. I believe it.
Michael San Martino, great dude, man.
I believe that he's a humanitarian. So now, for those of you that don't know, and maybe some newer folks, Lee Chalker, guys, who is my normal partner in crime, runs the show with me, runs all kinds of cool shit with me, to be honest with you. But he's an also super, super talented artist. And he has a book called Battle for Brussels, and it's absolutely incredible. Dude, some of the most original stuff I've ever seen coming out of this guy, But he's also got a new project coming out involving aliens and shit. And I'm over the moon about that, no pun intended. But I'm really, really excited about it, because I think for the first time we'll get to see a different type of style from him than we've gotten to see before. Awesome. And I think that's very thrilling. You want to tell us about what kind of you're doing different with this, Lee, than you're doing with anything else?
Well, my process hasn't particularly changed with it, but the story idea, it's called No Stars. So I've always been interested in UFOs and aliens and that sort of stuff, but so I've always had this little idea in the back of my head, obviously influenced by cool stuff like 80s films and 90s films and stuff, just a little bit avant-garde, that sort of action comedy type thing, but young adult type stuff. I'm trying to add a few different spins to it, which are causing me a few little headaches at the moment, because it's in writing gestation period. And I've been doing quite a lot of research on things like ley lines and, like stones and rocks that have energies and verge off into parallel realities and stuff like that.
Oh, like Easter Island and whatnot, huh?
Well, ley lines are they're ancient beliefs from cultures all over the world. And back in the day, where you couldn't jump on a plane and 20 hours later you're across the other side of the country, there's cultures that were separated by time and stuff that for some particular reason had these very similar common beliefs. So whether you believe the the conspiracy theorists that hieroglyphs and all that, like a representation of aliens, or another higher power, or whatever you'd like to look at it is, I'm trying to incorporate all of those into a particular town and bring a big spin to that. And I'm working on it. But the more how you get, the more you research, the more you go,
the more the ideas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, for sure.
Totally
it's sort of tumbleweeding real quick at the moment.
It's scary. It's scary how quickly those things just start popping into your head.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it started simple, I guess, mate. Says the bloke who did Battle for Bustle, keep it simple, stupid. And then suddenly, 20 years later, you veer off into far out. But anyway, so no, this one, it's good. I'm enjoying the research because my God, there's a lot of stuff out there that if you look, I mean, this stuff's all freely available. It's just that whether you choose to believe it or not. So
For sure.
the story will basically leave the reader up to choose what's right, wrong, what's if they believe it, if they don't. So it's just a matter of trying to get those little cues and points across where I'm currently at the moment. So it's joining the dots for me. But the ley lines thing, man, if people have ever never heard of like ley lines, go and have a read of them, because that's an incredible stuff. Even when you read, like UFO sightings are always found through particular points in the world, and it comes back to rock formations, you know what I mean? Like a certain amount of quartz or a certain amount of this particular stone, that sort of thing. The other thing in recent times, the last 50 years, where they've also had the majority of UFO sightings are around nuclear power plants. And that also provided me a big twist, because you've got reports of near nuclear holocausts in Russia in the late 70s, where an unidentified flying object actually took control, they believe, of a nuclear power plant. And for, I believe from memory, it was 7 seconds, 200 technicians and engineers absolutely lost control of the facility, while this unidentified flying object seemed to probe it and understand, try and read into the technological, like well-being, I guess, of this facility. They freaked out, could have possibly started World War III, and then within the blink of an eye, this thing was gone.
Well, I mean, who's not going to freak out when an alien or a UFO is probing them? I'm going to freak out if I'm getting probed by a UFO. So I think that's a natural, response to probing.
That's crazy.
Oh, mate, it just, because you can have aliens, and aliens have been done, and they're cool. I mean, I like a good alien. There's nothing wrong with that. It's, I might not want to wake up with some dude at my window, like go and phone home sort of thing. That might, trip me out. But just that, again, as you read into it, man, you just realize there's so much scope to that sort of thing that could really blow people out, So,
sure.
Just having a lot of fun with that. So trying to emphasize a sense of realism to it as well. And then, reading about first-hand accounts, because I've done a ridiculous amount of research into it, and the parallel universe thing, which, scientists to this day, like with the atom smasher and stuff like that, believe that, ghosts and spirits and stuff like that and sightings are actually, like a flicker of a memory from another parallel point where energies are crossed, and these things happen a lot around these certain points as well. And it's pretty interesting stuff. So hopefully I can translate that onto paper and story. So it's got its hooks in.
Anybody can do it. It's you. I'm telling you.
That's amazing.
Oh well, I'm going to give it a damn good crack, mate. So there's lots of postie notes. About postie notes.
Oh my God! So to preface the post-it notes thing, I have a 60-inch screen in front of me, and around the entire thing are post-it notes. Like the entire 60-inch screen is post-it notes, because as most of you know, I with a team of 30 exactly.
You got a few of them too.
Right now. Okay, 37 people working with the college right now, and I need an assistant. I don't have one. Bladen got an assistant. I was supposed to get that assistant. Bladen needed an assistant more than me, apparently. So he got his assistant. But there's no budget for my assistant just yet. But next year that'll be my.
I don't know, man. I've seen your assistant walking around with a tail and having a little bark in the background there.
I heard your assistant.
Yeah, like too. But so I found something cool while George was talking about we mentioned these neon streets. I actually have a page that JT was working on from these neon streets, which is really, really cool. There's more to it than this, but I can't show you the panels that are underneath it on YouTube. But she's working, and there's this dude that's like stalking her through this short story. I'm really, really excited about it. I think you guys will enjoy it. Speaking of other really cool stuff, earlier we mentioned Devin Massey of Cave Woman fame and cover fame and all kinds of other cool stuff. So Dan Kemp is doing the colors for Theater 7. The preview you can actually pick up with the If It Hops Kickstarter right now. It's an eight-page preview. Really excited about it. Here's the first colored page, and this is page 1 of issue 1. And it came out super fun. Like it's a very 90s themed book. Like the book literally takes place in the 90s. So you'll see a lot of references from music to movies, clothing, language, the way people talk and stuff. Because I'm a stickler for that. If you guys have ever read any of my books, like the listener particularly, you know what I mean? Everything is very involved. So if we write about something, we stick to the time periods. Oh man, I appreciate it, Michael. Thank you so very much. Pledge Wonder Duck, dude.
Jesus. Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah, no. And listen, real quick before you continue, Dustin, I just want to give a big shout out to Shawnee. They just pledged to the campaign as well. So thank you so much.
Shawnee.
I really appreciate it. They just did that. Yeah, thank
you. Shawnee's an angel, man. She's
I appreciate that. Really appreciate that.
She's been a backer of Team Ethereal since the very beginning. So we really appreciate Shawnee. Awesome. Incredible human being, super, super fun. And we've had her on the show. We'll probably have her on the show again before long. But with Greed coming out here shortly, we're on issue 3 of Greed. Greed's about a 10-year-old kid and his monster under the bed. Monster under the bed's kind of a dick. So instead of having your angel on one shoulder and your devil on the other shoulder, what's going on? Instead of having the pillar to the face, exactly. So instead of having your angel and your devil, well, Oz has only got Cade, and Cade's a shitty little demon. So, but he gets him in all kinds of trouble. This issue's changing up a few little things. We're changing our interior artist up a little bit. So, like I said, I mentioned earlier, Ed Garcia, and here is a cover that we got today, colored by our good buddy Greg Bo Watson and longtime Ethereal team member Gwen Delegalt.
Oh wow!
And it's just awesome, right? Just absolutely awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing.
We're really, really excited about it. We're really excited about the interiors. I think that you guys will get to see a lot of different stuff from us and the team members and what they bring to the table. Here's another Theater 7 cover that turned out really good. Sean Forney did this one. Big fan of his work. You'll see him on all kinds of Ethereal stuff going forward. Do I have any more Greed stuff? I don't think I have any more Greed stuff on here. But
Dustin, question for you. With Devin, Devin's a well-known black and white artist. Absolutely. Is this one of the first times that his stuff ever would have been colored in internal sequentials?
Absolutely. None of his interiors have been colored.
So there you go. Like, I mean, that's a fair feat in itself, because Devin's been around, doing Cave Woman for a good 20 years or so, man. And like, you've thrown colors on him. So that's well worth having a check out there.
It really is. It's a lot of fun. And if you guys are fans of Cave Woman or, Devin's work in general, check out Theater 7, because I really think you'll enjoy it, because it's that same lewd comedy. It's the first comedy that we've ever put out. So to have a guy that is like a pro at comedy, like visual comedy, you have to understand is very different than like audible comedy when you're talking about you're making jokes and stuff like that. His stuff is very, very cool. It's very situational. You know what I mean? Like stuff happens to his characters and it's funny. So that's one way that we run Theater 7. But a cool thing about it is there's actually original art from him on there. And getting his original art is not easy because it sells out very fast. So if you guys get the opportunity to check that out, I know that we've got 2 of his covers on there right now. So they're huge pieces. Like they're like 13 by 19s, like old school. Wow. You know what I mean? It's all done by hand before we scan it and put it in.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? So really, really thrilled.
I like that.
Yeah, they're beautiful, man.
Mhm.
I got when he sent them to me, he was like, "Hey, I'm sending you to scan these," and I was like, "Sweet, okay, never done that before, but I'm down." You know what I mean? And they come in, and they're in this like FedEx box. When you open it, it opens like a goddamn treasure chest, right? You're opening it, and it's like,
So what you're saying is you've got a whole heap of Devin Massey artwork sitting back there, man.
bro. It comes and it opens up, and you hear like a hiss of air as it opens, right? And you're like pulling these pieces apart, and you're like, holy shit, there are these huge, beautiful pieces, and it's like, man, oh man, I have never held original. Like I've held a lot of original artwork, and I've owned a lot of original artwork pages, whatever, and what have you. But I'm a fan of his at heart. You know, I've been a fan for many, many years. So when I open it, and I'm like, you know, you're trying not to squee all over your, you know, your fucking original art sitting in front of you, you know, so you're just like, you know, and you're going through it, and they're beautiful. They're absolutely stunning. Now, like I said, they are available, so check out the Kickstarter to see if you're interested in any of those pieces. And as we go forward, I'm fairly certain all the pages will be available, with the exception of a couple of them. Because, funny enough, I don't own a single page of ethereal artwork. Not a single page. And that's because when we started this, I took out $40,000 of our money to build this company. And every time I make a buck, it always goes right back into it. So every time we got art, it all went back into it. You know what I mean? So, and now that our books they're breaking even now, and or doing better than breaking even per issue, it's a different ball game than it was when we started this. So I may keep a couple of those for myself, but you guys will all be able to pick up the original stuff like that. And just another thing that's important.
And there go my assistants.
Yeah, you got beautiful though. Well, mine are too, but she's just a turd. But so you've got Bladen Hunter is our art director for Ethereal Comics. He also does all the interior work for Babes Going Dinosaurs. He does all the interior artwork for If It Hops, and he's also doing all the interior artwork for the new book coming out later this year that we're aptly calling right now for right this second, Bounty Hunters. And it's our type of book. So you guys, if you enjoy If It Hops and enjoy Babes Going Dinosaurs, you'll really enjoy the Bounty Hunter book. But the cool thing that he's doing now is most of his stuff is digital, but he is going back and doing so many pages by hand just so people can have them if they want to buy them. He's literally
he's like, yeah,
he's literally going back and doing them all by hand, and it's stunning to see the process. Just so you know as well, it's really cool about him because I know he has a lot of fans right now, and that base is growing in itself. But if you keep up with the show next month, I know that he and Lee will be on the show drawing next month.
Oh, nice.
He's already gung ho for it. And I think he's a super busy guy. That's why he got an assistant. And so,
well, I was saying to Dustin how that came up, which is strange, is like I do paper. You know, I'm old school art too. I like that. I like to hold it and the pen and everything, and splash the ink around. And I've been a fan of Bladen since I first saw his artwork when Dustin was sharing it. And I like to learn, and there's other people out there like to learn, like doing artwork and stuff like that. And then just with Nick and I have done over the year, Drink and Draw show on a Friday night, and that's artist drawing and stuff. And just thought it'd be a great idea to get Bladen on the show. I'm trying to twist Dustin's arm to reach out to Devin Massey and, see if he wants to come on and do some drawings for an hour. You know what I mean? Like just to, talk shop, talk school, see what each other's doing, what they're doing different, seeing if, particularly if I can learn from two of them, you know what I mean? Like, well, there might be some little thing out there that, they pick up from me. So
I know that, like I said, I know that Bladen is very interested and he wants to come on, and he had a couple cool ideas that I was going to pitch to you on the show while we were live right now. And I think that we bring George back for that show.
All right.
And I think that we give you all the opportunity to choose what these guys are drawing live on that show.
That's fun.
Now it has to go with the theme, where we choose for the theme. It'll probably be ethereal characters. So if you guys have a favorite ethereal character, you have and you're interested in getting a piece of original artwork, pretty sure that if we hit, I know that we'll be selling original artwork, but if we hit a certain number of viewers at any given time, we'll be giving away original artwork.
That's
on
cool.
That show.
That's
so,
cool.
And that was okayed by the art director. See, I don't tell you guys this cool shit unless it's okay with other folks involved, because I get in trouble, right? Like I share cool shit with y'all, and then I get in trouble. Like I'll get off live, and then somebody will be blowing up my phone talking about, "Did you share this cover?" Oh, might have. You know what I mean?
Oops.
Yeah, sorry. Just like this page that just came in from If It Hops.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So,
Look at the giraffe, bro. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's super fun, man.
That's awesome.
Super fun.
And Dustin's phone is now on silent.
Yep, turn it off. Turn it off.
Dustin's in trouble. That's it.
I literally got this like 3 seconds ago. Cut off the phone.
That's good.
But yeah, it came out really good. Those are fun characters. And one cool thing that we do is, and I watch a lot of anthro artists and a lot of anthro storytellers talk about is, what's going on, Rob?
Hey, Rob.
Yeah, all the guys will be on the show. It should be super, super fun. But one thing that we do is we try to keep, and I'll bring that page up again so we can talk about it. We try to keep the size proportionate to characters in our worlds. And I think that's very important for anthro artists and anthro storytellers, because you're not only, when you pitch something of this nature, you're trying to get people to read about an animal first. That's first and foremost. You have to be able to suspend the disbelief that that's what they're reading about or writing about or watching. You know what I mean? You have to go to this point and realize, hey, look, we have a barrier to get over first. We have to get over this barrier because not everybody's going to enjoy the same things you do.
Right.
So you have to be able to tell a story in a way that gets attention. And it's, you already have so much disbelief that if you can bring in something that will be relatable and make sense, there's no way a giraffe's going to be the same height as a mouse.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when you do things like that, you suspend certain things. You move them out of that person's eye. Even though it's subconscious, you don't even think about it, but you're doing it. Hey, look, that makes sense. Because the minute you saw that page, it made total sense to you that the mouse was that height.
Yeah.
It made total sense. And that's not to toot my own horn or anybody else's. That's to show you guys that there are styles. And like Lee mentioned earlier, there are things you can learn as you go forward to make storytelling an easier thing to do. You know, I'm a huge fan of giving people what they want.
Yeah.
They want to see, whether it's fan service or, scenarios. You know what I mean? I love to give people what they want to read about. And even if it's something they don't know they want to read about, like that suspend disbelief thing, that didn't come from my fucking noodle. That actually came from Devin Massey the first time he read the first issue of Babes Going Dinosaurs. He was like, by page 4, I forgot I was reading about dinosaur chicks.
But Dustin, just real quick to that point right there, I think when you're drawing these anthropomorphic characters and you're drawing these characters that you're supposed to suspense disbelief for, the writing has to be that much better, because the characters now they have to become characters rather than just these images on a page, and they have to speak to you in a way where you're like, I don't care that that's a mouse, I don't care that that's a giraffe. That's something happening between two individuals. I'm gonna say not necessarily humans, but two individuals, two people, two things. So I don't know, whatever, are talking. They're interacting, and it makes sense to me that that's what they're saying. I'm just following the story. I don't care about what they look like anymore. And
do you remember that
that's hard.
That show, Gargoyles, right?
Yeah.
Gargoyles was so well written.
Yes.
You're like, oh, cool, they're superheroes or whatever. They're big, gnarly dudes. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, they're watching TV. They were fucking around with toys. Right. They were all kinds of shit. And it was like, they're normal dudes. As a kid, same thing with Ninja Turtles, right? Ninja Turtles was the best one ever. It was the best example ever done. And it was because of the simple fact that they were believable. Like
Right.
you believed that you forget they're turtles. I don't give a shit what you say. I've been collecting that book since it dropped, and there's not ever been a time where I was like, oh yeah, they're mutant turtles. I don't think I've ever fucking even went down that rabbit hole, you know.
And talking about the size, Splinter being the same size as a turtle, and they're just walking around, it didn't matter. Like that was Master Splinter. That was Master Splinter. Those were the
That's
turtles,
right.
and that was it.
Absolutely, you have to suspend the disbelief, and it's something that I think that you're doing well with Wonder Duck. I believe it. I believe that there's a duck scientist. I'm about that shit all day long, because again, once you get past a point, and just like Nick working on, dudes with bird wings, arms, it makes sense to me. Though.
It's so cool.
You know what I mean? What's going on, bud?
That's so cool, dude.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And absolutely, Shawnee. I mean, I love it, and the art style is really, really good, guys. It's really, really good.
Like
Kudos on you, man, for coming up with a style of your own like that. So I'll see this out of Australia. You motherfuckers can bang out black and white. Black and white.
Oh yeah, dude.
Fuck around and find out. Like
Dustin, the like we're the kingdom of black and white down here, man.
Right. Like it's no bullshit.
There's ink and shit going everywhere, man. Like they can't get enough trucks into these art stores for us, man. Of ink.
I had never seen someone put so many lines on a page in my life, like so many lines, and I was like, you get looking at these things and you're just like, holy fuck, man. Like, but you notice that you'll start seeing like demographics, okay?
Yeah.
And the interesting thing about this show that we can do is we can bring artists from all over the world and show you guys the different things, and the different styles that they're doing, and we can push you in directions so you can pick up their artwork, you can pick up their books. And I'm going to tell you this, there are a lot of really good fucking artists out right now. There are a lot of, and I'm not even talking about ethereal artists. You push our artists aside real quick, so we're not being biased toward our own teams. You know what I'm saying? There are a lot of amazing, amazing, talented folks out there, and I think the more that we go, you're going to start seeing them more. You're going to start seeing them. Look at Niobe Comics.
Yeah.
He's a good dude. Good dude. Been doing work for a while, always using talented artists. So, but as we go forward, I think you're going to start seeing more and more and more indies and quality indies too, not just indies, quality indies. You're going to start seeing more of them because right now with, man, George, have a good one, brother. It's always fun to have you.
Guys,
I'll holler at you about getting you on the show.
Yes. I just have to run, but Nick, pleasure meeting you. Lee, as always, man. It's always a pleasure, man. And
no problemo, mate.
I'll see you on the book, on the Facebook.
I'll be here.
Peace out. And guys, thank you everyone who was watching, and thank you everyone who pledged. Shawnee, I appreciate you. And if you guys are interested, obviously follow the link, and I'll see you guys online.
See you, brother. Take care.
So, what I was saying is there's so many talented folks coming up right now. If you look at the big two, right? If you look at Marvel and DC right now, I think we've seen a decline. Yeah, dude, you're always welcome. Fuck off. You're always welcome. Come chill with us. You know that.
Pick a date.
Yeah, and you can bring your fancy avatar thing that talks for you and moves and does all that shit. He does have a really cool avatar.
I want to see that.
Like it's the coolest thing.
This is the only avatar I can afford, mate.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't have a fancy thing like that either, but it's really, really cool because like when he talks, it talks, and it's really neat. But anyway, so I think yes, dude, it's cool as fuck, and I know that you had the dude do it for you or whatever, but it's still cool as shit. But there's this concept right now where if you like, we've already seen the split, right? We're seeing these things again. Where I would if we weren't getting off here in like 5 minutes, I'd shoot you a link. But we're doing a thing now where the same thing happened in the 90s. We're coming to that bubble, right? There's the bigger companies have shit out 1 million books, and the sales are not where they should be. The indie books are selling more. You're moving more into Kickstarter-backed projects. You're seeing more and more amazing Kickstarters come out. You know, people that never got accepted to the big 2 or the big 3 or whatever, and now they're having the opportunity to show you their amazing artwork and their amazing talents. So I think we're going to see more and more. And I think after Kevin Feige came out and was like, hey, look, the future of Marvel isn't comics, it's movies, it lit a fire under people. You know what I mean? And it became this, hey, where are we going to be in 15 years? You know, where are we in our careers? Where is our path going to be? And truthfully, I'm happy about it. I haven't, Peter Parker and Spider-Man is my favorite book since I was a kid, and I haven't picked up a new issue in probably 6 years. And because I don't think we've recovered from Brand New Day. I don't think the characters recovered at all. I don't think the core story's recovered. So now we're looking more and more at the indie market, who's coming up. Like, dude, people spec our books. Like, that shit's bananas. You know what I mean? And I love it. I think it's the coolest thing. But I do think we're going to see more and more folks coming in. And with us right now, we'll talk a little bit more about it for the next couple minutes. With us doing Ethereal Down Under, opportunities are coming. And it's a very big deal for us. We're very grateful. We're very excited to have a company over there and to be able to bring on talent and to print over there and to do all the things that we're doing. Because I think that as much as the internet has bridged the gaps in places, we still need other bridges to be made. You know what I'm saying? I think that getting you amazingly talented Aussies, in other areas is really good. And I think that having you guys have somebody in your corner like Lee running ship and stuff, is a guy that's been in this industry for a while, is really, really good. So you have a banner, and I think that being able to put that together has been a highlight for me. And I'm excited to be involved in it. I'm excited to be a part of it. I'm excited to see more of Bird Dude Detective. I'm hyped about that life. And I want to, give you kudos before we get off here in a few minutes, because you've come in and you've created a character that is not easy. And as someone that walks this path, anthropomorphic books are not easy. You know what I mean? You're pushing a story, but you're having to write it differently. You're having to engage it differently than a normal book you would write, or a normal character you would write. Because again, you're having to suspend those disbeliefs.
Yeah.
So kudos to you, my friend. The artwork you've shown us today has been phenomenal.
Yeah, thanks, man.
I appreciate you sharing with us. Why don't you tell us where we can find you, like where they can find you online, where they can find your artwork to look at it, or anything like that.
You can find me at detectivebudgie.com, where it is.
I love it. Click.
Simple.
Is it like a business card? That's dope as shit.
That's me.
Dude, no, it's like, but what I mean is it's so cool because it's like Detective Budgie business card. It looks like it's like the card he would literally hand you. He's like, look, I'm not working right now, but if you need me, here's my card. You know what I mean? Swing on by the coop when you get the opportunity.
Related crimes, I'm your guy.
I dig it. That's super, super cool.
He's got his own thing going on, that's for sure, Mr. Cleary. I've always enjoyed Nick. The other thing that Nick's very good at, and the reason he got quick, is because on the Friday night drinking draw, he is one of the hosts, and you can be talking and bantering between, like the artists and stuff, and Nick just in the space of like 10, 20 seconds is just banging out like cartoon caricatures of the artists and drawings of things they've been talking about. And these things are quick, man, like literally, like he would have already had a drawing up by the time I, finished what I'm saying. It's just like bang, and, like he's got a good sense of humor and stuff. And I would recommend people going out and getting that stuff.
That round top and that fuzzy bottom, you can get it done real quick. Drawings.
Pretty easy to draw, mate. I know.
I love it. So I'm gonna say this, and I normally don't I normally don't put out my own ads on our shows, but more than once or twice. But we're literally, where are we at right now? Let's see. We've got less than 2 hours left on the campaign. We're at $16,973.
Come on, $27.
$27. And Mr. Lee Chalker said he was sure we could break 17 grand today. So if anybody wants to go in and you haven't pledged, snag something up, help us get that. We're really excited about it. I'm thrilled, to be honest with you. I'm very grateful, very blessed that we've done so well. $27. That's crazy to me.
Come on. You got to put in $27, someone, because then I can sleep easy tonight. Because I said like 21 days ago to Dustin that figure, and Dustin's like, oh, 27.
I've been like, it's cool. I'm very excited, very grateful. Whatever we get's good. And he's like, no, we're gonna hit 17 grand. And I'm like, oh, okay. If you say so, I believe in you, Mr. Chalker. I believe in you. So
it's funny though. I can't win a bloody raffle to save myself, mate. You know what I mean? God, But no, well done to you, mate. That's an awesome job there. So
yeah, we're very proud of everybody involved. It's been quite a journey, and I know that a lot of people are like, "Well, you're still new cat," and that's fine. You know what I mean? We're on our second year now. We've got, like I said, we got now 9 books out. So in the span of like 16 months, so it's pretty good. And we're almost to the point now where in the next few months, I'm going to say, we keep saying August, but I think by August, if not September, we'll be putting out a book every 4 weeks. Like right now, we put out a book every 6. I'm hoping we can put out a book every 4. That's the goal, because it's consistency. Like when you walk into a comic book shop, you want to be able to pick up your book that comes out once a month or whatever, right? So that's my goal. My goal is to be able to get you your book directly to you that you want once a month. If not 2 books of ours a month or whatever, what have you. You know what I mean? Now the books are still going to drop bi-monthly. So like you'll never have If It Hops and BGD in the same month, just because Bladen's breaking his back on those particular books, and I love him for it. He does incredible work. And I couldn't ask for, outside of my wife, I couldn't ask for better teammates than Lee and Bladen. They're the backbone of this, and I appreciate them very much. But that got real serious all of a sudden, Lee. Why are you letting me do all that?
I don't know, man. I just let you roll with it, brother. You know how it is. It's just
that's super.
You're yarning away, man. Like I let you go. I haven't seen you in 2 weeks, mate. So like it's just done so mumuch talking over the last period. Like 2 weeks away from you is like you left me all by myself a couple of weeks ago. And I felt I had to put my big boy pants on. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so, and you're away next week too, aren't you?
Yes, we're in Phoenix next week for Fan Fusion.
Cool.
So that should be a lot of fun. I'm excited because I don't have to drive to this fucking show. I'm flying.
Yeah.
So we're really, really thrilled about that. But anyway, we're gonna let you guys go for the evening. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Lee and I are gonna sit here and I'm gonna teach him how to use StreamYard. So.
You got to teach me how to do some technical stuff.
Technically sound stuff. But like I said, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us as always. And, Lee will see you next week. I'll see you with Lee the following week. But you guys have a great evening. And don't forget, someone is always listening.
See ya.
Thanks, guys.